I'm David Dahm, president and owner of All Terrain, and this program is all about what the difference is between sales commitment and motivation. Question for you. Which is more important with your sales teams? Is it commitment or motivation? Would you like to know? Well, commitment is the willingness to do whatever is required to succeed in sales. At reaching a quota, at achieving certain goals that you might have set, closing a particular deal or account, bottom line, whatever it takes ethically to get the job done. That's commitment. Well, what it's not? Well, it's not whatever it takes as long as I'm comfortable, Mr. or Mrs. Boss. As long as it doesn't take too long, or it's not really difficult, or it's not too scary, that's not commitment. Have you noticed that in your sales team? Bigger challenges that we find in your industry and the sales environment today require more resolve. Wouldn't you agree? We have to pull harder. It takes more commitment. So a question is, how many of your salespeople have that kind of commitment? What would it take? What would it mean if they had a greater commitment? As certified partners of Objective Management Group and the 5-time naming of the world's best sales assessment tool, we help you uncover that. We measure the desire and the commitment of each and every one of your salespeople on your team. This is important. It's important to assess your team. So what is motivation? Motivation is the incentive to do what is required in sales. It is why someone will show up day after day for this difficult and sometimes demotivating and humbling challenge that's in front of them. That takes motivation. Well, what it simply is, it's the motivation to sell. It's the motivation to prospect. It's the motivation to do all the things that the other person won't do. So commitment, you decide. Commitment and motivation, which is more important? And can you have one without the other? That's the question. So let's take a look at if you have someone that's motivated, but they're lacking commitment. You ever hung a carrot out in front of someone, but there's no stick? There's nothing that's really committed to making sure that they get it done? Have you ever felt that way? I bet you have. So it's that dreamer on your team that's motivated, but they can become very discouraged when they're not selling, when they're not getting the success that both you and he or she want. Well, let's take a look at the committed person, but they lack motivation. It's you having the stick, but there's no carrot. And after a while, every great machine will break down and lose effectiveness over time, including your salesperson. This is big. So you have to have both. You have to have both high commitment and high motivation. We help assess it, we help deliver, we help drive it to drive the profits and success that you have. Now you know the difference between sales commitment and motivation.